Somebody feels like they see the bigger picture whenever they look into your eyes. So if you're in moments of separation, if you take time to yourself, if you're in a situation where slow and steady wins the race, because I feel like you in the past were a person that chased quite a bit, but that part of you has been long gone. And now when you get into dynamics with people where you're learning about each other, you're in the talking phase, etc., you don't go ahead and crazy exert yourself the way you did in the past. I'm not saying you're a person that's like makes people chase after you and etc. But you honor your alone time, you honor your responsibilities, and you got your priorities in check. And sometimes when you're doing that, people can feel like they're being put on a back burner, but it's not the case. You have priorities. You have things to take care of, etc. Whoever's connected to you in this reading understands that about you. But they have very understandable human insecurities. And I see someone wondering how you feel about them. They're like, do they not message me anymore as much? Or give me as much attention because they're like over me? And that's not the truth. I see that you like this person. You're just, again, slow and steady wins the race type of person now. And you can feel when you start to overgive. And you don't even allow yourself to get to that point anymore. When you feel that itch of you starting to like, oh, I can feel myself starting to overgive, you don't pull back. You simply reclaim your energy. So whoever's connected to you, you could have some form of a past with. Like you could have talked when you were younger, etc. And this is like a fresh start. Or it could even be a person that you've just recently met. But again, you've been talking for a couple of months and it's been like slow and steady wins the race. So, let's see what they're thinking about you. Where their insecurities and stuff are coming in. Because if we understand their insecurities, we're going to help you understand how to see how this person fits in your life. Interesting. Okay. Right. Well, this person, this is how they see you. One thing, they really like your aesthetic. You could have very much attracted them in by your aesthetic, but it's more than that. The more they see that you're this sponge, you're this person that's this learner, like you give so much effort in your craft, you give so much effort into other individuals. When you talk to people, you look them in the eyes, you understand that if you're the type of person, if you have a place in my life, you will know it. So when they talk to you, when they see your eyes, it's this magnetizing effect. And they think about, a lot of you here, either you're young right now, or you could have had a relationship together in the past when you were younger, and they're just seeing like, wow, you have grown. You have turned into a whole not even different, just an upgraded version of yourself. The self-worth, the courage, the way you hold yourself, it's different than when you two were younger. They wonder with that aspect. They know that other people have their eyes on you as well. They know that you've, during your times of separation, been able to explore and meet other people, and they wonder now, am I enough for them? Do you want to settle down? Are you even a person that is... It's interesting. They're wondering if you're even a committed person anymore. So they think that you have a lot of options, and you very well could. But that doesn't mean jack shit. If you could have a million, you could have a trillion options in the world. If they don't make your heart sing, it don't matter to you. Insecurities they're dealing with right now. Well, insecurities they're thinking of is they're entrapped in their own mind about the way they could have treated you in the past. They also wonder if they read their signs wrong with their guides about you. But every single time that fear, that parasite tries to throw in, oh, they don't care about you, this is all for nothing, they're going to burst the bubble, etc. Anytime that those thoughts really, really try to linger in and cling on to any part of their insecurity, their low vibrations, etc., they're up for the challenge. Okay, so this individual, we all have insecurities, don't we? If you're willing to just let them overpower and stop a connection, that's shooting yourself in the foot. Those are moments to challenge your own low vibrations. Those are moments to not go ahead and state, because I think this is happening, I'm going to ignore the reality of the situation. You have given this person a deep amount of courage to see your connection as more than a goal. This person, I sense every single day, more than you realize, is challenging their insecurities when it comes to you. They play it so like cool and calm and collected, and the truth is they don't want to be left in the dust. They don't want to let another year go by and not have an upgrade with you. You could have a couple of different people. Yeah, these are collective takes what resonates. A lot of you here, they feel like they literally wrote you into existence. They could have done some form of manifestation work and then you came into their life. And others feel that you have this duty to your job or your field, etc., so deeply that maybe they lost the ability to keep your attention. This is interesting. All this outside sources, I feel like a ton of bricks hitting my head when I start thinking about if they wonder if your work comes before love. They're deeply infatuated with you. Deeply infatuated with you. I do see them going through this deceit, like of self, being able to really see this is a guarded connection. Anytime I've tried to go and find a distraction, anytime I've went ahead and written down the pros and the cons of trusting, of being with you, of not waiting or lingering, but being at peace with fate that I have to let this person come to me, it's worth the wait. They understand now that you will not sacrifice love for your career, but also you won't sacrifice your career for love, obviously. This person's energy is this person's energy is a little hasty. You two definitely have a lot more to talk about. I just feel a big block whenever it comes to repairing something. It's easy to stay in the state of flirting. It's easy to stay in the state of being infatuated by you, but then actually having to go and polish and clean what can make you two shine together is that next thing that's bursting the bubble. Okay. So they've also powered through seeing you as a player. That you could be only obsessed with one thing. There's no more tedious efforts. There's no more protection needed. They have to put their walls down. And they have to understand, if you're meant for each other, the law of attraction will continue to give you this balance, give and take. You have to do everything on your part to remember you can't do leaps and bounds for individuals, for jobs, etc., that don't give it back. But this connection is something deeper. I'm telling you, they are still fighting through. They have a lot more insecurities than you do. And I'm not saying that you're a perfect person. Nobody is. You used to be somebody that had a lot more insecurities than you do now. You're very in touch with your self-worth. You know what you bring to the plate. So what I'm saying with this is, if this is a person that you really do feel something more for, and you've been allowing this to grow organically, I need you just in one moment with this specific person, etc. Go with me here to see, do you feel like you're making them do any form of chasing? Or is it simply you having to communicate just a little better with them? If they mean something to you, truly, and they're not just somebody that you've been talking to for just a couple of weeks, or you're in and out of each other's life, is this somebody that actually has a spot in your heart, and you're almost at sometimes purposefully being cold or putting to the side to try and hold some form of power? There's a difference with that versus you having your priorities and getting things done first and then proceeding to a conversation or to hanging out, etc. I'm not saying you're here doing that. These are collective. You have to take what resonates. Some of you here are realizing, hey, am I falling into becoming what I always didn't want to happen to me? The people that hurt me, the chasing type, the individuals who run and will only give a little bit back as somebody is speeding to them. For some of you here, you know for a fact that you right now are handling this accordingly, going back and forth. That you are picking up on their anxiety of the situation, and you're realizing how to feel it being what their anxiety is thinking versus what's actually going on, what's feelings are going on within you. And some of you here are verging on the edge of trying to make somebody chase you. No matter how this resonates for you, it does look like this person helps you perfect your craft when it comes to the way you think, self-control, not allowing yourself to play games or have games played to you. They want you to remember that this person, if they're meant to be in your life, they're not going to pop out just because you say one thing wrong or type one thing a way that is misunderstood or construed. If they care, etc., they would then ask for clarification. You two have a lot to unpack together, but it does seem like a connection worth growing, and it may be it might be time to take a next step. If you feel like they're just completely waiting on your go to see each other, to do this, to do that, maybe it's time to step up to the next plate. Maybe it's time to go in something farther than a dinner, something farther than a date night with them. No matter what, how this resonates, there's growth in this connection. And they see you in a very high light. They know they will receive the answers and will be able to express to you truly to the depth of what they're wanting to express. All I keep hearing is in person. They don't want to do this over the phone. They don't want anything to be construed by text or etc. There's something obviously much more deep and intimate about being in front of a person and talking and looking into each other's eyes and etc. If you've had this person in your life for the past year, and it's been a gradualness, but now you feel them almost just wanting so much more with you, but being afraid to chase you away or rush too fast or be categorized as somebody that's just categorized as somebody that just wants you for what you think. That's an interesting way of saying it. Being categorized as somebody that just wants you for what you have versus who you are, that's the farthest thing from. So, go ahead and open up and see that this person does have their complete eyes set on you. Go ahead and make that next step. Assume nothing. Ask questions. That's what I got for y'all today. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is my Patreon. Over on Patreon, every single week, I have 2 extra videos that are posted for my tier 1 to 7 Patreons. The beginning of the week is called Archangel Ascension, and the end of the week is called Viking Divination. Both of those videos represent you within. It's not if love messages and etc. flow through, I absolutely channel them in, but the whole focus of those 2 extra videos is about understanding yourself when it comes to your feminine and masculine energy. It's an energy forecast, if you will, for what type of path and energy is going to be flown and thrown your way. It center focuses with you the divine masculine, meaning your willpower, your go-getter attitude, your self-composure, that you're going to center focus on giving the world, but also what you're going to be receiving. And then also for the Archangel Ascension part, the feminine energy, the nurture, the compassion, the sympathy that you are throwing out to this world and what's going to come back. Tiers 3 through 7 are eligible for my video chat reading giveaway. Every single month I give away 2 video chat readings. That is valued at $388.88. Simply by putting your name in to the draw, everybody always receives an angel number, etc. So even if you don't get picked for the actual giveaway, you always receive some form of extra downloaded message as well. Tiers 3 through 7 are eligible for that. I have so many more benefits paired with the other tier levels. If you're interested in learning more, go to my Patreon. That is in all of my it's linked in all of my social media platforms, but also if you just go to patreon.com and you type in Uncle Bronze, you will see my profile pull up. That's what I have for y'all today, and I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.